Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad and TikTok and Instagram at Movies TV Mad 555. So yes, Man of Steel versus Batman versus Superman. I reckon if we got Henry Cavill in here now, which would be a great honour for me, and asked him, out of Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, Justice League, and Justice League, what is your favourite interpretation of your Superman? I think he'd say Man of Steel. In fact, he pretty much has said that already, and he's always wanted a direct sequel to that movie. My favourite interpretation of Henry is also in Man of Steel. You see, it's obvious to me why Man of Steel is kind of stand by many people from the broader audience compared to Batman versus Superman, Justice League, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Snyder Cut, where we barely see him, which I think is a bit of a mistake, but that's what happens when you decide to do a Superman Rebirth story in a Justice League movie. It simply doesn't work. That's my opinion. I love Zack Snyder's DCEU movies, all three of them, but that's just my opinion. So, we all know, whoever's watching this video, we all know that Henry's preferred version of Superman he's played is Man of Steel, as it is mine. So, a lot of people keep on saying to me, Mick, we are desperate to see a Man of Steel 2, a Man of Steel sequel. And people will say, yeah, but BVS is that sequel, right? Yes, but it's the sequel that some people didn't want for Superman, and that includes Henry Cavill. So, the questions we have to ask ourselves, is Henry Cavill's Superman still canon in the DCEU? Is he done? Will we see him in the Suicide Squad? Will we see him in Aquaman? Will we see him in Fury of the Gods? Will we see him in Black Adam? Will we see him in every DCEU Earth 1 story as a cameo? I think we will. But the question remains, will he get that sequel that we desperately want and that he has desperately wanted for a very, very long time? Excuse my distraction. There's a lot of wind outside. I've got a bit worried. I don't want to be blown away while I'm doing a video. And so, yeah. So what we have to decipher here is what discussions have been going on between Henry and the studio. Now, we know that Snyder's no longer involved in the DCEU, but from the costume we saw from Sasha Calle, the tease, I think it's pretty obvious that she's connected to Henry Cavill's Superman, and either she's going to replace him as the kind of new House of El hero in this DC live-action universe, or she's going to be standing on screen with him. Imagine this scenario. At the end of The Flash, her and Barry come back. They met in the future, and Barry introduces Superman and hopefully Lois, a.k.a. Amy Adams, to their future daughter. Imagine that as a climactic ending, a little cameo thing. Not the be-all and end-all, because this is Barry's movie, but that would be sensational. Barry Allen giving his ultimate hero the greatest gift he can. Why is this important? Well, because Henry Cavill's Superman in Batman vs. Superman wasn't very popular because he seemed, a lot of people call him emo Superman, which I think is not very kind, and I disagree with. But he was going through this deep, deep, dark journey where a lot of people didn't have any faith in him. That was the story that Zack was attempting to tell. I think this is why the broader audience prefer Man of Steel and prefer Henry's Superman in that film. If you want to turn around this kind of this perception of this being a darker Superman, an evil Superman, which he's not, right? He's not evil, right? In the nightmare future, he is, because he's under Darkseid's control. But the DCEU Superman is an evil Superman. He's not evil in Man of Steel, and he's not evil in the majority of BVS either. But if you want to create a situation where this Superman is a lot brighter and lighter, then introducing him to his future daughter would be absolutely a brilliant thing to do. It changes the perception of this character. Already we've seen how this has worked with Tyler Hoechlin's Superman being a father to two boys. It's really, the people are loving the dynamic, and it works for me, and it's very original, and it's great. And obviously, young Jonathan Kent is from the comics as well. He's a version of Superboy. So this would really work. So now we're going to compare Man of Steel Superman to BVS Superman. Now in Man of Steel, there's people talk about Man of Steel and that Superman doesn't smile in Man of Steel and he doesn't save anyone. Of course, this is propaganda, and this is not true. In fact, one of my favourite things about Man of Steel, opposed to BVS, is the scenes he has with Diane Lane, the wonderful Diane Lane, the talented Diane Lane, the most perfect casting for Martha Kent since Annette O'Toole, who I absolutely stan as well. The dynamic between them, it's beautiful. Henry's very comfortable with his mother. They're smiling there. He cuddles her. He reassures her. There's a great dynamic between those characters. I like their dynamic. Now, in BVS, they have a dynamic. They spend very little time together, and when they do, she's talking to him. He's not really talking back. There's an interesting phone conversation between them. It's just not the same as Man of Steel. There's actual levity in Man of Steel. There's some great lighter moments for Superman there. It's mostly kind of focused on the adventure and the mission of defeating Zod. But I feel the film, for a broader audience, the colour palette's slightly more brighter, and Superman feels a lot more like Superman. Now, the only problem with Man of Steel for the broader audience, not myself, by the way, is the fact that he kills Zod and kills him so brutally. Now, I think if that moment didn't happen, Man of Steel would have made a lot more money, closer to $1 billion than it ever got. And maybe we would have had a straight sequel if that had happened. So I think that moment was very problematic for die-hard Suit fans, right? Comic book fans, die-hard DC fans. They couldn't accept it. Now, people have defended that moment, right? I don't want to sit here defending that moment. Within the story, you can say he had no choice. But did they have to put the story in the film? David S. Goyer didn't have to do that, but he felt like some controversial, he felt a bit controversial. Let's wind them all up. Let's stir them up. Zack Snyder and people like that love doing that. And that's great if you want to do that. But Superman's an important character. And there's got to be a balance with Superman. And I think in Man of Steel, despite the killing of Zod, apart from that moment, I think this Superman is well balanced. This is Superman Begins. So he makes mistakes, like crashing Zod into the petrol station that explodes. He's inexperienced. He's quite raw and angry at times, especially that moment. You think you can threaten my mother? I love that bit, one of my favourite moments. I think Man of Steel is a perfect modern-day Superman film. And I think Henry agrees with this, that Batman vs. Superman took it a little bit too far and the balance left. It's perfect, right? The compelling moment when he screams when he kills Zod, to the moment with his mother at the end when they're at Jonathan's grave and Clark says, I wish he could have seen me achieve this. And Martha says he does, and we see that moment. In fact, Man of Steel is pretty much a perfect... I'm not going to do what some people say it's the best Superman film ever. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say it's a perfect Superman movie for the 21st century. And I think if we can continue this story, especially if we can bring Kara into the mix as well, as Superman and Lois's daughter, this would really take this DCEU Superman to a place the fans can accept. Now, I want you to comment down below, like, share, and subscribe, but I want to know your opinions on this. Would Clark being introduced to his daughter at the end of the Flash movie be a great way to kind of give people the Superman they feel they should get, rather than this darker BVS Superman? Comment down below. All opinions are welcomed. You don't have to echo what I think. I will be back later with the Movies TV Mad. Should I say that again? Yeah, because I'm still getting confused with Big Mouth. Right, I will see you later with my live stream, which is Movies TV Mad Live from 6:30 p.m. And you can see that from 6:30. I will give you a link a couple of hours before. And please do check your local times. Until then, goodbye. See you later. I will start to remember soon that I'm not Big Mouth anymore and I'm actually Movies TV Mad. Until I do, we're just going to have to learn together, aren't we? See you later.